Hey guys, how are you all? My name is Harshit Dwivedi friends and I welcome you back to my video. So in this video friends, I will be telling you the fifth schedule areas, the sixth schedule areas of the Indian Constitution. Basically these are mentioned in the fifth schedule and sixth schedule of the Indian Constitution, and these are basically the areas which have a considerable amount of tribal population friends. So that I will be discussing with you friends, and I'm going to tell you the difference between the fifth schedule areas and the sixth schedule area. What are the proper differences, what are the catches. This is basically one of the things which is not easily understandable by the people, by the students, so I'm taking up a separate video to make it explain to you. So this is presented by me, Harshit Dwivedi friends. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on my Instagram profile friends. So link of my Instagram profile is given in the description box below. Also this video is in English friends. If you want to watch the Hindi version of the video, that link is also given in the description box below. So first of all friends, we will see this fifth schedule of the Constitution of India is given Article 244 clause 1, and the sixth schedule of the Constitution of India says Article 244 clause 2 and Article 275 clause 1, and this Article 275 clause 1 relates with funds, and these funds are being provided to both the sixth schedule areas and also to the fifth schedule areas. So the fifth schedule says that administration and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes would be done, and these are basically those areas which are having a considerable amount of tribal population, and these areas for the time being are present in 10 states, which are Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan and Telangana. So currently these are the 10 states which are having these scheduled areas, and they are covered under the fifth schedule of the Constitution. Whereas when we talk about the sixth schedule of the Constitution, friends, it deals with these articles that I have already told you, and it provides for the administration of tribal areas present in 4 states of India, which are A, M, T, M. Remember A, M, T, and M. That is Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. There are 2 M's in it, which are Meghalaya and Mizoram. Always remember that these are Meghalaya and Mizoram. Don't confuse it with Manipur. Okay, moving forward, friends. Now, Schedule 6. First of all, we are going to see that what exact areas are coming under this Schedule 6. So basically in Schedule 6, A, M, T, M are there, Assam, Meghalaya and Tripura, Mizoram, friends. So what is coming under Assam? Under Assam is coming Bodoland Territorial Council, then Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council, then Dima Hasao Autonomous District. Now at some places you will find Dima Hasao Autonomous District Council, at some places you are going to find North Chachar Autonomous District Council. So friends, this Dima Hasao is the new name of this place, North Chachar. So either it is North Chachar Autonomous District Council or it is Dima Hasao Autonomous District Council. Both of them are the same things. So please don't confuse yourself. When we talk about Meghalaya, the 3 areas coming under Meghalaya are Garo Hills Autonomous District Council, Jaintia Hills Autonomous District Council, and Khasi Hills Autonomous District Council. So these 3 areas will be coming under it. In Tripura will be Tripura Areas Autonomous District Council, friends. In Mizoram, 3 areas is there. First is the Chakma Autonomous District Council, then Lai Autonomous District Council, then Mara Autonomous District Council. That is Chakma, Lai and Mara. So these are the councils which are coming under 4 different states: Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram, friends. Okay, so this is basically the very first distance between, friends, fifth schedule and sixth schedule. Fifth schedule areas are quite big, so it's not important to name the area, but sixth schedule areas are decided. But that doesn't mean that they cannot be changed. They can be changed with appropriate procedures. Now, what are these fifth schedule of the Constitution and sixth schedule of the Constitution are aiming at? Both of these constitution, their final aim and objective and there is ultimate plan is the same. They have to safeguard and protect the cultural distinctiveness of tribals. Okay, but now we very well know, friends, that tribals are living a life which were used to live by people in the ancient times. They don't know too much about the organized way of modern day life. In the modern day of life, everything is commercialized. People have gone online. Everything has become digital. People are educated. There is a proper pattern of living in today's society. Now, these tribals, which are still living an old life, which are still living a self-sustainable life, they will not be able to adjust themselves to this modern life because they are not used to it. So in that case, they are vulnerable on many counts. They are culturally vulnerable, they are socially vulnerable, and the most important thing, friends, that they are economically vulnerable. And this economic vulnerability of theirs is the biggest threat to them. Okay, friends. So this is important, that despite of the economic disadvantages that the tribals are facing, they should be provided protection so that they cannot be exploited, so that they cannot be forced to do anything, they cannot be coerced to do anything, friends. Okay. Now, one big difference between fifth schedule and sixth schedule is there, friends, that in the fifth schedule, there will be the establishment of a tribes advisory council. A tribal advisory council will be established under this fifth schedule, friends. And under the sixth schedule, district council and regional councils will be established for all of these areas that I have already told you in AMTM. Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. And this district council and regional council will have legislative and judicial power. Now the point is, the amount of power that will be given to these district and regional council, the power available with this tribes advisory council is not that much big. So the district councils and the regional councils which are formed under the sixth schedule are more power than the tribes, and more powerful, more effective, and more, you can say, dominant than what is the tribes advisory council, which is settled, which is set up under the fifth schedule of the constitution. There is one more piece of information, friends, that when we talk about the fifth schedule areas, only those areas will be designated as scheduled areas under the fifth schedule which have more than 50% of the tribal population. So this is one more important fact that you should always keep in mind, friends. Now moving forward, let's have a look at it. Fifth schedule areas, we are going to talk about it now. Some information that now I'm going to give you, it is just related to the fifth schedule. See, friends, tribes advisory council will be there, tribal advisory council will be there, anything you can say it. And whatever laws are being passed by the parliament and state legislature, so state legislature laws are applicable to full state. Whatever laws parliament makes, it is, applicable to the whole India. But these laws applicability to the scheduled areas, this will be subject to the decision of the governor. Now if the governor finds that there are some points which should not be applied to these areas, so he can restrict those points. And if governor is saying this means that this is the will of the state executive, and at sometimes this can also be the will of the central council of ministers, because council governor is directly a direct representative of the home minister, that is central council of ministers, and it has to listen to what the state executive, the state council of ministers is saying. So basically you can infer it in your ways, friends. Okay, so the governor has the power to apply the laws passed by parliament and state legislature with some required exceptions to the people. Also governor will do administration, he will make good regulations so that good governance should be there in the area, the area is peaceful, no disturbance is going on, women are getting their due rights, so all of these things are happening, friends. Okay, now that tribal advisory council which is being found in the scheduled areas, it is being said that 3/4 of its membership, that is around 75 of its membership, should be tribal MLAs of the state legislative assembly. That is, for 75% of the members of this tribes advisory council, at least 75% of those members should be MLAs, and that too tribal MLAs of the state legislative assembly. Okay, now it has a lot of other aims. This tribal advisory council, it will promote the economic interest of the tribals, the educational interest of the tribal will be protected, social justice to the tribals will be given, they will not be exploited. Also provision of giving financial assistance to the tribal is being made under article 275 of the constitution, friends. Okay, as I've already told you, any law that is being made by the parliament or state legislature can be modified, it can be limited, its application can be limited or totally not adhered to when it comes to the application of those laws to these scheduled areas, friends. Also the business of money lending in these scheduled areas is also regulated. Now see, friends, money lending is something which has a whole lot of scope in you can say exploiting these people. See, these people are very simple people, friends, they don't have a lot of knowledge, friends. They are not very much used to what is happening in the society. Now there are some money lenders who are always thinking of looting these people, so obviously it is the responsibility of this tribes advisory council to stop these type of activities, friends. Okay, and it is being said that tribes advisory council, its membership should not be more than 20 members, so its composition is not that much important, that I will not be taking up, friends. Okay, now moving forward, friends, See, the mode of appointment of this tribes advisory council, how many members will be appointed, and what is the mode of appointment, what will be their perks and privileges, how the chairman of this tribes advisory council will be applied, everything will be decided by the governor. And by governor I mean the state legislature, or you can say the state executive, not state legislature, you should say the state executive. The state council of ministers will tell that what composition should be there, friends. So all of these things I have told you, friends. Also, the governor has the power to make regulation for good governance of these area. Money lending will be regulated, friends. All of these things I have already told you. Now, what is the role of president in this scheduled areas? See, friends, president can change the boundaries of the scheduled areas. President can, you know, declare that a particular scheduled area is not a scheduled area, and president can also recommend the setting up of a new scheduled area. So all of these things can be done by the president, friends. And obviously, whatever governor is making, president also has the authority to subvert the proclamation of a governor. Says governor is being advised by the state executive to do something. Now suppose the state executive has said the governor to do something, governor has said to do something with respect to these areas. Now if the president wants, the president can stop him from doing so. So president has a discretionary power above the governor in these matters. Also, when it comes to amending the fifth schedule of the parliament, say, so amendment of the fifth schedule of the parliament will not be considered as an amendment under article 368 of the constitution. Article 368 of the constitution I have already discussed in detail, friends. You can go and watch that video in order to understand this article 368 completely. Now moving on to the sixth schedule, friends. Now we are going to talk about some important things about this sixth schedule. So it deals with Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram. This I've already told you. Some differences between the sixth schedule and fifth schedule are already told you, friends. One thing that is very important is that this sixth schedule basically deals with the powers, functions, and the composition, the constitution of the district council and regional council. The biggest difference between this fifth and sixth schedule, that this district council and regional councils are very, very powerful in this sixth schedule areas, friends. And these autonomous districts are also directly administered by the governor. However, the functions and the decisions of the governor, they are very much influenced by the recommendations of these councils, because these councils in these areas are very, very powerful, friends. What's biggest thing about these councils is that these councils even have legislative and judicial powers, friends. So they even have legislative and judicial powers. Also, friends, they can do administrative functions, they can do welfare services with respect to revenue, land, forest, education, public health. So by listening to these things, you can understand that how much power these district councils are having, friends. Okay. Also, why this is being done, why these councils are being given so much amount of powers. Also, they have the power of taxation, friends. Limited amount of taxes can also be imposed by these councils. So this power is being given to these councils so that the traditional cultural heritage of the tribals can be safeguarded. And the basic premise is that the local people will be more saving their own traditional practices, they will be saying their cultural practices, they will be saying their daily way of life. So all of these things will be done by them. Okay, friends. Also, they will have the power to manage the laws of their land. They will have the power to manage their own forest using their minor forest produce. Okay. Also, trade being done in their areas by not the local scheduled tribes, that can also be regulated by them. There are a lot of local kabilas and groups, tribal groups, so their chiefs and headmen would be appointed. So councils also have a role in that, friends. Also, the people living there, how the property will be inherited, how the marriage will happen, how the divorce will happen, how the social customs will have. This is basically, you can say that these are actually their own personal laws. So sort of personal laws, this thing is being given to them. Also, how the minerals will be extracted in these areas, how the markets will function, how the schools are going to do basic level teaching, taxation issues. So all of these areas are coming under there. So you can see, friends, that they are having a lot of power. Now see, friends, the area which are coming under this district council and these autonomous districts, that can be changed, and actually that can be changed by the governor. He can, what he can increase that area, he can decrease that area, he can mix two area to become one area. He can say that this area doesn't exist to be a tribal area under the sixth schedule. So anything the governor can do, but actually whatever the governor is doing is not up to his discretion, friends. Okay, the governor can also change the name of a particular autonomous district, but obviously all of these things can be done with a proper due procedure. Right? The procedure is that if something like this is to happen, for example, say if in this sixth schedule areas, I should say that if 2-3 areas are to be mixed, suppose you can say that, friends, this Karbi Anglong Autonomous Council and the Bodoland Territorial Council of Assam has to be mixed and made one. So for that, first a committee will be appointed. Then committee will do a statistical analysis, and then the committee will give its report. And if in that report it is being told that okay, they should be combined, then governor can proclaim that they should be combined. The reason is that governor works on the direction of the state executive, and state executive may not be in consonance with the people of the local areas always. So that is why governor is not being given a discretionary power here. His power is subject to some restrictions, friends. So these restrictions are also very important, friends. Now let us talk about the legislative powers that are being given to this sixth schedule council. They are being given the power to develop the modes of transport, primary and secondary education, animal husbandry, veterinary science, then fisheries, then agriculture, including research and education in agriculture, then employment, unemployment, controlling the floods and disasters, social security and insurance, friends, then viewing of movies in cinemas and theater, public health, sanitations, hospitals, minor irrigation things, how the libraries, museums and monuments will be safeguarded, how the trade and commerce will be done in selected products, and those selected products are like food, raw jute, raw cotton, cattle fodder. So all of these things will have to be, friends, uh, uh, are come under the legislative powers of these six scheduled councils. And there are some other powers which are more given to some people. For example, the Bodoland Territorial Council, actually it has some more powers to make some more laws in such specific subjects. Then we have to talk about the judicial power, friends. Okay, so this judicial power is that these actually they have their own civil and criminal judicial power. So these district and regional council also have civil and criminal judicial power, friends. They can establish their own village courts, they can proclaim judgment, but obviously its jurisdiction will be subject to the jurisdiction of the concerned high courts. That is, the civil and criminal jurisdiction of these district and regional councils will be subject to the jurisdiction of the concerned high courts. I hope this video is helpful for you, friends. If video is really liked by you, kindly subscribe to my channel, like this video, and as far as possible share this video. And if you find, you can also share your views with me in the comment section below. So thank you for watching, friends. Have a great day. Goodbye.